Dart skill presents quadrants and axes. The rectangular coordinate plane, also known as the Cartesian plane, often represented on a graph paper or a grid paper, comprises two number lines that cross each other at right angles or 90 degrees. The one that goes from left to right is called the x-axis, and the one that runs from top to bottom is called the y-axis. The point of intersection of the two lines is called the origin. So we have the origin here, and this point represents the number 0 on both number lines. On the x-axis, we have all the positive numbers to the right of 0 or to the right of origin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on. And to the left of 0, we have all the negatives, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 and so on. On the y-axis, the positives are above 0, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. And we have the negatives below 0 or below the origin on the y-axis. So this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6 and so on. Any point on the number line can be represented by its x and y coordinates, also known as the ordered pair, where x represents the number this point corresponds to on the x-axis. In this case it's 3, so we say the x coordinate of this point is 3, and the y coordinate is the number this point corresponds to on the y-axis, in this case 4. So we say this point over here has coordinates of 3, 4. Similarly, this point out here is the point negative 5, 2. X first and then y. And this point out here, for example, has got coordinates of negative 5, negative 3, and this point out here has got coordinates of 8, negative 3. Note that 3, 4 is different from 4, 3, which would be this point. So this point would be 4, 3. The order in which you write the numbers matters, and that's why we call them ordered pairs. The coordinate axis divides the coordinate plane into 4 quadrants. This is called the first quadrant, or quadrant 1. It's called a quadrant. This one is called the second quadrant. So you pretty much start from the top right and go in the anti-clockwise or the counterclockwise direction. This one is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Every point in the first quadrant has got a positive x and a positive y, like 3, 4 or 4, 3. Both x and y are positive for any point that lies in the first quadrant. Similarly, for any point that lies in the second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive, like negative 5, 2. Every point in the third quadrant has got a negative x and a negative y, as you see on this point, negative 5, negative 3. And every point in the fourth quadrant has got a positive x and a negative y, like 8, negative 3.